Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you are, the essence of you is good. So it's going to be a good day, however it starts. Let me tell you something. This is Truth Be Told. And what it is it's dealing with these videos, this podcast. It's dealing with the truth. And the truth is subjective and very objective. However, it's grounded in facts. For example, your truth may be that you are very cold. Someone else may say it's hot in here. Your truth is subjective and it's still a truth substantiated by the fact that it may be 58, 60 degrees in your home. Whereas someone else, it may be very hot where they are, still the truth. So all of it has to be, even your personal truth, has to be substantiated by facts. It will always be true. 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4. 1 + 0 is always going to equal you because you are the one. You are one who stands in your truth, who stands before others speaking your truth. You are the one who has the power to speak truth to power and to make a difference, not only in your community, in your family, but in your own life. But it takes you facing the truth. And that's hard. Sometimes it's a very hard and bitter pill to swallow when you're looking at the truth. And especially when you have to look at yourself, when you have to face yourself as your own Goliath. But just like the Bible story, David slayed the Goliath, his giant that was trying to intimidate and invoke fear, and you can also. So this podcast, these live videos are to help and empower you to do just that. It's going to deal with a range of topics. A lot of things are going to be going on. Conferences, retreats, live guests. We're going to go and deal with a lot of different truths, some with politics, with relationships, the overall government, truth be told. Okay. Your workplace, who you are as a person, LGBTQIA, social justice issues. We're going to cover a myriad of topics. The church, Christianity, different faiths, the truth about them and what it really means, not what you have been possibly told myths about and are basing it and have made that your truth and no facts to substantiate it, but what it really is. So that's what we will be discussing each time you see me for these videos, and they will be live. And please make sure to click, subscribe, like, and share. Bring your friends, bring everyone. We're going to be discussing things that impact women. We're going to be discussing things that impact men. And I'm going to need your feedback. But when it comes to feedback, let me tell you this, and you can read in the description. You have absolutely every right to your opinion, and it can be expressed in your insights because we can help each other in this platform. However, if you're a bigot, if you're homophobic, if you're xenophobic, if you have just chosen to have low intelligence, don't waste your time, don't waste mine. Keep going. Because if you are sitting and making just ridiculously cruel, unkind, bigoted statements, I will block you, report you, and you will never be back on this channel. That's all. Period. Dot. Now that is the truth. And I can back it up with fact if you do it. So let's not get to that. Let's come into this place where we can absolutely enjoy ourselves. There'll be tears sometimes, anger at things when you sit back and look at, why did I do this so long? Why did I allow this so long? What are we going to do in our world? Instead of just talking about it, how do I live into the truth of how I can make a difference? How do I look at society as for what it really is? How do I look at people for what they really are versus what I want them to be? Because that's not based in fact. That's based in, hopefully, in the future. but looking at people and yourself and your situation as it actually is. You can always have idealistically what you want it to be, but you can't get it there until you acknowledge what is going on with it now. Your shortcomings, your strengths. For example, if you're in a relationship, be it with a man or a woman, or however you identify, whatever. The bottom line is, if that person isn't good to you, if they're not kind to you, if they're not loving to you, the facts substantiate the fact that that is not a good person for you. Doesn't mean they can't get there, but are you willing to walk that road with them? Are you willing to put up with the nonsense? Are you willing to lower your boundaries or remove your boundaries? And if you are, what is it, the truth about you? What's the fact about you that would allow you to allow anyone to disrespect who you are? Low self-esteem, low confidence, feeling like you can't do any better, feeling like that's your soulmate and there's no one else for you on the planet. Over 7 billion people, you think that's the only one? That is definitely not a fact. The way that you can gauge what is truth versus what is not is, again, putting the facts, laying the facts out. Like I just gave the example. If the person isn't good to you, if the person doesn't support you, if you don't feel safe, if the person doesn't lift you up to be your best self. Now, look, they're not your Tonka toy. They're not there to keep you happy. Your joy is your own. But are they there as a helpmate? Are they there that you feel like, if I can get to that person, I know they're going to give me good advice. I know they're going to be there for me. Even when we have bad or hard times or argue, I know that the love is there and it's strong. That's a fact. But if you're anxious, if you're afraid to say certain things, if you can't really confide in your partner, if the trust has been gone due to infidelity or just lack of sensitivity, the truth is that's not a good relationship. And you have to make the determination of how you want your truth to look from this day forward. And if it's something that you're willing to put up with, again, you have to do the hard work of looking at yourself and saying, what is the truth of me? Why don't I feel I deserve better? Because you deserve the best. God said in the very beginning, when he looked at everything he made, Adam and Eve and all the animals, the vegetation, the earth itself, he looked at it and said, it is good. That included the human beings. That means that there are people, as human beings, we make choices. They're not always good. They can be poor choices. But at the end of the day, the essence of us, the essence of you is good. You have the ability to start again. You have the ability to make better choices. You have the ability to be silent when you need to. And you have the ability to speak up, to speak your truth when you need to. Now, I want to say this so that people will not start thinking, oh my gosh, did she mention God or did she mention Jesus? Here, let me make this clear for you. I'm a Christian. That's my truth. That's who I am. I'm not proselytizing saying what you're to be. You can be agnostic, you can be atheist, you can be Buddhist, you can be Muslim, you can be a Taoist, you can be someone who's just trying to figure it out. Again, agnostic, atheist, it doesn't matter. You are welcome here. Diagnostic, whatever it is, I could care less because I'm not trying to make you be a Christian. That's who I am. And there'll be people who come in here who are in all of those different faith walks or just trying to figure it out. That's your personal decision. I was speaking for me and giving you the story about the essence of you're good, whether you believe in God or not. You are good. You are worthy. You are enough. And what's the facts of that is the fact that you breathe. The fact that you are able, that God blessed you to wake up today. And again, whatever you believe, the fact that you woke up today, remove anything spiritual from it. The fact that you woke up today gives you another chance and lets you know that you are worthy. You have to know that you are worthy. That's what I'm talking about to you today. As we go forward so that we can discuss these other topics, you must know that you are worthy. You are enough, that you demand, that you are worthy of respect. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of companionship. You're worthy of an excellent, outstanding job. You're worthy of walking into that which you have your talents and gifts to share with the world instead of just sitting on them and not doing it because maybe someone has told you that, you really can't do that. Don't listen to people, because for them to tell you what you can't do is not a fact. That is a lie, because they are not you. They don't have the gifts that you have, and they're afraid because they know that they can't do it. Here's something important to know. You have to get confident in who you are. You have to have a solid foundation of knowing who you are, what you stand for, what you are opposed to, what you love, what you like, what you don't like, what you want to stay away from, the people you want in your circle, the people who you do not want in your circle, and boundaries, and also accountability. Because here is the fact, if you do not know who you are, if you do not value you, if you do not love you, people are more than willing to tell you who they need you to be to fit their narrative. Because you know what? They will never be you. They will never do it like you. They will never walk in the authority and power of you. They will never walk in the confidence of you. So until you can look others in the eye and let them know, I don't care what you say. You don't know me. You don't speak for me. But you have to first off look into who you see yourself to be. Are you worthy? Do you think you're enough? Love your neighbor as yourself. To love your neighbor as yourself, for a lot of people, that's impossible if they don't even like themselves. It starts with you. You can't help anybody. You can't make a difference. Whatever is toxic in you is eventually going to come out and be projected on others. And we don't have any right, no matter what has happened to you in your life. And I know people have suffered some horrible things. You still don't have license to project the hurt that you've had onto someone else, or poor behavior onto someone else. You have to work through that. You have to work that out. You have to get to a place where you can forgive not only the person, but yourself for allowing that person to hold you hostage to what they did or didn't say or did say to you. You have to make a determination. Am I going to listen to this? Am I going to sit up and actually listen to someone who is not speaking facts? They can't tell me what I can or what I cannot do. They don't know what is in me. There's a saying, I can show you better than I can tell you. So the best way, it starts with you. Truth be told, the fact of this matter is you have to start at ground zero, and that's with you. You have to sit with yourself and really be honest. Do I like myself? Do I love myself? Do I hate myself? Am I just here? Am I just functioning like going through the motions of life because I'm not happy? Am I happy? Am I sad? Am I content in what's going on around me right now? The people in my life, the job in my life. And if you aren't, then that's where the work begins. You get about the business about getting about the business and doing the work to do and be better. It's your life. It's your life. Live into the truth of your life. Live into the truth of your relationships. Live into the truth of how you can make a difference and show up in this world. People, we need you. We need you. That's all there is to it. You have gifts, you have talents. We need you. And no one is going to do it like you. No one. It could be even customer service. And sure, there's a lot of people who can do customer service, but not in the way that you might deal with the person, not in the way that you might give compassion to the person and understanding and assistance. It's the little things. You don't have to have this great, big, huge, overwhelming life unless you want it. Look, you can manifest anything that you want in your life. You speak it, believe it, and go for it. Just go for it. You manifest it. You speak it into existence until it's true. If you don't like yourself, you say, I love myself each and every day in the mirror until it's true. You have to forgive somebody. You say, I forgive you. I forgive you. You say it each and every day until it's true. And you will feel and know that the hold that they had on you starts to diminish. The truth is that when you forgive someone, when you see them, they have no impact on you. That's the fact. That's the fact that speaks to the truth of you've released them. But if you get around them or you know they're coming and you get anxious, you haven't truly forgiven them. And if you get anxious and are in a ball of confusion, that means you are still bound to those actions and those words and that toxicity. And you don't have to be. Back it up. If you say, I've forgiven them and I've moved on, the facts will show for themselves. The person doesn't impact you. You still go on with your life. I see it every time in any relationship, whether it's a platonic relationship or intimate relationship, be it with your partner, your intimate partner, your spouse, whomever, or a friend, family members. It doesn't matter. When you are no longer appreciated, when you are no longer valued, cry and pack. Your tears don't kill you. Cry and pack. Have enough respect for yourself to know the fact that you deserve better, you need better, you want better, and you're going to get better. And if it means removing yourself from that person, I don't care who it is, family, friends, whomever it is, relationship, if it requires you moving yourself, remove yourself. You see, it's easier said than done. To get to the truth, you have to address and look at things that are actual facts. Look at the situation for what it is. And sometimes that hurts, especially if you have deluded yourself into thinking something other than what it is. And that's a defense. That is defense. That's a mental, spiritual, and emotional defense. That you decide, I'm going to see this through rose-colored glasses. Or, no matter what's going on, you hate your job. You know it's not for you. You know you're not excelling in it and you're not putting your best in it because it doesn't give you life. But you'll find one good thing. I don't know, they bought you some pizza or something. And you'll say, oh, well, you know what? It's not so bad. It's not good for you. Doesn't mean it's a bad job. It's not for you. Especially if you're not living into the calling on your life to utilize your gifts and your talents. Now, look, I'm not telling anybody to just up and quit your job. No, but start making preparation. Start going into those things that you know you want to do, but you're afraid to do. Step out on faith. What's going to happen? It won't work. Okay, you keep doing it until. Thomas Edison failed like 1,000 times with the light bulb before it finally worked. He didn't give up. And you're not going to have to go through 1,000 tries. But who knows, you might have to go through a lot, but you keep persevering. If you know it's in your heart and it's your talent, you keep persevering until those doors open. And they will. and align yourself, set yourself up in places that walk into what you're trying to do, surrounding you with people who can help you. Looking on YouTube or wherever to find out what are the steps, what's the process, what do I need to do to really do what I want to do. Life is very short. That's a fact. And no one gets out of here alive. That's a fact. And if you don't believe it, there's cemeteries, mausoleums everywhere. We are here for a finite period of time. You are here for a finite period of time, and that's a fact. The next seconds are not promised to you. So utilize your time. Why not spend it at least trying? At least trying to be what you want and need to be, not only for your happiness, but to share your gift with all of us, with every human being. Nothing is without struggle. Nothing. Nothing worth having in life is without struggle. Your gift, your talent could be, it's like breathing, easy for you to do. Easy for you to do. But you still have to get into the right spaces to make it happen. And it will. It will. If you're willing to step out on faith, if you're willing to step out, step off the edge, even though you don't see the bottom, because guess what? It's there. You are going to get through it. Might be some bumps and bruises, but you'll get back up. You fall down, you get back up. Might be some tears. There's going to be laughter, all of that. But keep speaking positive. Stop saying what you can't do. Because the fact of the matter is, even if you can do it, if you keep saying you can't, you won't. That's a fact. And how's that working for you? Knowing you can do something and saying, I can't. How's that working for you? It's definitely not bringing you joy, and that's a fact. Because if you don't have peace, if you are just going through the motions, if you are just very, very unhappy, that's your choice. Your words manifest your reality. You're calling those things that be not as though they were. You're saying, okay, I know I can do it, but because of my fear, I can't do it. And such told me I shouldn't do it. Who cares about such and such? Let them be. And a lot of times, don't let those dream killers know everything about you and tell everybody your business. Once it happens, you can show it. Because there's people who are just sitting, waiting to see, hoping to see you fail. And I know that's a hard one to swallow, because people who you think are your friends are not always your friends. People who you think have your best interests are not always having your best interests. People who smile at you can be the very ones who hate you and who are very jealous of you, because again, they don't have your gifting. So that's why it's important not to tell everything. Even with the people who do support you in things, you'll know when to speak and when not to. You'll know who to tell things, who you can trust and who you can't. If you get that feeling in you, you get ready to say something to somebody and you get a feeling of don't say nothing. Guess what? Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Just live in the doing of it. When you put forth the effort, when you put forth the work, you will get some level of progress and success. But you have to put forth the effort. Now, that's a fact. No one who has done anything great in their lives did it without any type of hard work, determination, perseverance, so that they could excel. That's how you get excellence. So, as I said, 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is 4, 1 + 0 is always going to be you, 1. You stand for yourself. You live in the truth of a situation, no matter what anyone is saying. You make a determination for your life. You show up with your family and your friends. You show up in your community, in the world, and take back your voice, take back your power. Know that you can make a difference. We live in a time right now, and with a government and a world that's upside down, and for people who look like me, and people who are brown, and for women, and for gay people, and for poor people, no matter your race, it's a very difficult time right now because everyone is getting ostracized and marginalized who fits in those categories. But I'm not a victim. You are not a victim. People may try to victimize. The government may be doing some things that we know are wrong and we don't want. We know it's wrong, and we're in trying to figure out how do we make a difference here? Your mouth. You know who your senators are. Sign petitions. There's people who protest, whatever it takes. Remember, when one group is targeted, it's a matter of time before you are. And that's a fact. We can look at the history of this country. We can look at the Native Americans, the Africans who are African American who came here and were targeted. The Polish people, the Italian people, the immigrants who came here and have been targeted. You see, it's not just one group. When they come for one, they come for all. Those in the LGBTQIA, and I'm going to speak to the trans community, because they seem to really be at the forefront of being targeted right now in society and by our government and by people. By people. It's amazing to me. Just amazing that people say they're fair and they're Christian, they love everyone, and they'll cherry pick the Bible to hide behind, to use it to cover their hate, to cover their bigotry, to cover their homophobia, to cover their xenophobia, just to cover all of their fear, because hate is based in fear. Not willing to step out of your small-mindedness and embrace everyone. And that's a fact. And we know that. We see that from the different hate crimes. And how do we change it? By showing up each and every day in our lives. By you showing up each and every day in your life, knowing you're enough, knowing you're worthy, living into that. Because when you have that confidence and that level of courage and boldness, and not afraid to say hello to whomever, and not looking at it as, oh, that's what they do, or that's them. No, that we are all human beings. And that sounds like it's a very sterile word, human beings. But to make it much better and much more understandable, you're not just a human being. You should be practicing the art each and every day of being human. And what does that mean? Treating others as you'd want to be treated. Sometimes being silent instead of just lashing out at people, because you don't know what anyone's going through. A lot of people are having a bad day, including yourself. But again, the silence and not feeding to it, not taking the bait with people who just want to fight because they're so angry and hurt in their lives. Nope. Have your control. You have the ability to have control over these situations. Refuse to be baited. Refuse to allow your higher self, that which is your higher self, refuse to allow anyone who's operating on a lower frequency to make you lower yourself to acquiesce to their lack of self. Refuse to do that. And when you do that, when you start living into that kind of discipline and that type of courage and that type of self-love, oh, you're going to start really loving yourself. And when you start loving yourself, people are going to recognize it. And it's like the domino effect. They're going to watch you, and you'll be a model to them and a mentor without you even knowing it. Because they'll see the transformation in you, and they'll start wanting the same thing, the same peace, the same confidence, understanding, and the knowledge that they too are enough, that they are worthy. Because the fact is, they are. You are. So this is Truth Be Told. There's a lot that's going to be coming and going on. Like I said, conferences, retreats, have a lot. Live guests and these talks. Live streams and just Instagram, where I'm going to be everywhere. So take care. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and wherever you are, it is a good day, and it is good because the essence of you exists. Take care. God bless.